everybody, Terrence Popp here from MeDarklist.com with another episode from the Lair. Alright, my shoulder's healing up pretty good. I've been doing the rubber band thing. It's about 90%. It'll be alright. Today I got a mix of questions and opinions. This might be a long one because opinions are usually longer than questions, but here we go. This first one here is a response to a link somebody sent me about a robbery at Starbucks. Man comes in with a gun and a knife, tries to rob the place. Some bystander attacks robber with a chair and gets stabbed in the process. And the bystander takes a knife and stabs the robber. That's just to him or stop the violence or whatever you want to call it. And now they are suing him because he stabbed the guy too many times. What the fuck is this world coming to? This is absolute bullshit. You know, watch the video, check out the links below. I just couldn't believe it. And what is this world coming to? And if this motherfucker gets paid, I don't know. I pretty much lost all credibility in the legal system. Not that there's any left, because it's totally fucked, but now it'll even be double fucked, I guess.
Number 2, can you please boil down in 1 or 2 sentences the difference between a liberal and a conservative?
Well, sure. Here you go. A liberal, they want free shit. And a conservative, they understand that nothing's free. There you go. And they always bump heads. Because you want people who want the free shit, and then the other people being logical and reasonable saying, hey, shit ain't free. Here we go. Number 3.
Why is it so many liberal turds rule Hollywood and the entertainment industry?
Well, basically because we let them. Now they say like a little bit of power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. This has been going on since the 60s. For the most part, these people have been running their mouth. Nobody says nothing. They still keep making money. They keep selling tickets. They run their mouth more and more and more. And as the time progressed, it's got to the point where it's absolutely ludicrous. And, you know, my personal opinion, you know, if you have actors that you can't fucking stand, which is probably a large majority of them, don't pay to see their fucking movies. Don't buy into the fucking bullshit. Don't watch them on TV. I mean, fuck it. They're all basically programming you anyway. So punch the fuck out. You know, once the money dries up and people in Hollywood go, hey, you know, we're losing money because these idiots are running off their suckholes, guess what? They're cut off. It's over. Yeah, unfortunately, there are very few conservative people left in Hollywood, and you know, it's going to be a problem. And it is a problem, and needs to be changed. That's just my opinion. What do I know? I don't work in the industry. I don't make a living pretending to do shit, or at best portraying somebody who they're not. Yeah, I did all my shit myself, and it is what it is. All right, Pop, what is my opinion on the third wave feminism? Okay, third wave feminism in a nutshell. The feminists basically met all their goals. They did all the shit that they meant to do. And now this new wave of feminists are coming on board, and there's no big fights left to fight, and they're making shit up as they go along. I don't get it myself, but at some point, people have to say, hey, you're a fucking idiot, and this shit isn't that bad. Wait a minute, that person is me. Feminists are a bunch of fucking idiots, what can I say? Especially the real crazy ones. They want to do shit like free the nipple, they're walking around in their slut walks. I mean, come on. Come on, that is absolutely stupid. The West is not a rape culture. At best, it's a murder culture because these fucking whores are killing their babies left and right. And the government's paying for it because they voted for it. All right, number 5.
Are you getting hammered by Google sponsorship? If so, what are your plans to fight it?
Let's see. I'm no longer using Google as a search engine. I'm not using Bing or Yahoo because they're basically very similar. And I was reading up on the subject. They can keep your searches on file for up to 2 years, and they can be subpoenaed into court if you're under investigation. So that's a bunch of crap. You can search it yourself. You know, you can find there's several websites out there or search engines that don't track your shit, like DuckDuckGo and Smart Search, or you can just use the Tor browser and avoid the whole fucking thing altogether, and they can't track you, period. It slows down a little bit, but apparently it does have a higher level of security than a lot of the other stuff. Hang on just a minute. I got on the Tor browser and I took a look down at that the dark web or whatever it is. There's some crazy ass shit going on in there, man. Unbelievable. But hey, I don't do that. I don't do legal shit. I was just looking at it. You know, it is what it is. Okay, I've got a couple of questions. Individuals want to know what I do for hobbies now that I don't sleep as much. Well, for the most part, you're looking at it. I do the comedy. I do a lot of plotting to take over the world and stuff like that.
Of course!
And I think of all kinds of evil shit, and I can't help it. It just always happens. Now, back in the day, I used to get into scuba diving. You know, I do shooting, though I don't like to shoot when other people on the range because I don't like people knowing my capabilities. I was at the range today, and I squeezed off about 40 rounds, about 300 meters, and had somebody show up, and I said, fuck it, and left. I have a key to a private range up the hill from where I'm staying here in New York, which is probably the only perk of being here. And usually, if I go in the evenings, there's nobody there, and I can go fucking crazy, which is a very zen for me. Let's see, I also did a bout of, or I do SCA Heavy Armored Combat. That's where you wear the armor and all that shit, and you fucking go crazy. It's kind of stupid, but it's a damn good workout, and since I can't box anymore, it's the closest thing I can get to actual kicking the shit out of people, and I like it. See, was it 4 or 5 years ago, I participated in one of the Penzics on the East Coast, where it was roughly 3,000 on 3,000 people. Shield walls, the whole deal, and it was so relaxing. I loved it. Came back with some dinner plate sized bruises, and it was great. I loved it. Studied the martial arts. I've done that since I was 13. Nowadays, I just hit the heavy bag and a double-in bag. I don't spar anymore, and I'm not taking any open instruction at this time. Though I'll probably get into Wing Chun and Aikido down the road, and maybe a little bit of Jiu-Jitsu. But my joints hurt, and that's a lot of leverage. I don't know if I can handle that. This is another one here. Okay, I got a bunch of questions on this one in regards to masculinity and toxic masculinity. Well, first of all, there is no toxic masculinity. That is a construct by the liberal left and the feminists out there to turn you into a fucking villain.
I'm triggered.
Now, if you're a dude and you're doing fucked up shit, you're a dickhead. Or, you know, if you're a criminal. It has nothing to do with toxic masculinity. It's a bunch of bullshit, and don't you dare buy into it, because it's not leading anyone anywhere good. And these feminists out there, they're all about bagging on masculinity. But when they get married, and they marry a guy who is not quite that masculine, what do? They cheat on his ass. Read the articles. It's insane. They kick him to the curb, they divorce him, take half his shit, and then they bitch about the fact that they can't find a real man. I can go on this one for hours. Men and women are different.
I'm triggered.
And men have a greater potential to be stronger, faster, have more endurance. Maybe they're quicker. I don't know. Women are pretty quick. And we're built that way too. We're built with thicker bones, a bigger heart. We have more square footage of capillaries in our lungs to help us, run further, faster, and fight harder than women do. I don't know what to tell you. Men and women are different. And these feminists and these crazy-ass women out there saying men and women are not different, they're full of shit. Maybe some of these men who get stuck with the Xbox body and don't get off the couch until they're like, 19 years old. All they do is walk to school and walk back. Or they just bitch, moan, and complain and get driven to school and picked up and driven back. So they really don't do anything. They probably have feminine bodies because they don't use them. But they have the potential to develop all of that other shit if they just get off their ass, where women really don't. If you see a buff woman, chances are she's shooting juice. Now, I don't do political correctness. I just do political directness. Now, another individual out there wanted me to also comment not on masculinity, but on rites of passage. See, women, they have a period between 10 and 14-ish, and then overnight they're a woman because they can have kids now. They're bleeding. Where men, it's not so easy. And a large majority of men out there are being raised without fathers, so there's really no bar that they can measure themselves against. And you really don't get that from mentors either. You pretty much have to have a dude standing next to you going, hey, this is wrong, this is right, go in this direction, do what you gotta do. And a lot of people are missing out on this, especially the minorities, the colored individuals out there, where 75% of these kids are being born out of wedlock. And as these men, get older and they get beyond the age of 12, women just are shit at raising men. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I was raised by a single mother, and it was absolute shit. I don't know. It was just shit. I can't really put my finger on any specific thing other than the don't be confrontational, don't fight in school, blah, 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 Listen, you're a dude and somebody kicks stand in your face. You better get on your motherfucking feet, because that's all life is a bunch of people kicking stand in your fucking face. And it'll go on until you die, unless you stop it, because no one's going to do it for you. Now, in regards to rite of passage, I think, there's the Eagle Scouts and Boy Scouts, which is basically getting all fucked up because women want to get into Boy Scouts, even though they have Girl Scouts, which is technically the same thing. I don't get it myself. And then there's the Bar Mitzvah for Jewish kids who read from the book, and now they're men. Of course, women are now doing that too, so that's watered down. And that's a classic example of all of the rites of passage that used to exist for men have either been infiltrated by women, watered down to such a crappy standard that it no longer counts, or it's been eliminated altogether by the feminists out there want to feminize all the men out there and get rid of quote-unquote toxic masculinity. So in regards to a rite of passage, all right, in my particular case, when I was in 8th grade, I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was standing in front of the mirror looking at myself going,
wow, I am a piece of fucking shit. I am outweighed by pretty much everyone around me. I'm scrawny, I'm not athletic, brown hair, brown eyes, and I'm average in school.
And I'm like, you know what? You got to do something. So I decided I was going to play football. Now, when I walked onto the field in 9th grade for my first time ever this is the first time I've ever been involved in any type of sports activity, I got my ass kicked. I was 4'8", 89 pounds, and I shouldn't have fucking been there, and I didn't have a lick of athletic ability. I went home pretty much every single day with my ass fucking kicked, bruises, sometimes to the bone, everything swelled up, cuts, bruises, the whole goddamn thing. And then it went on like that for 4 years. Hell, by the time I got into 12th grade, I was only 5'8", 138, 141 pounds. I was considerably stronger because I'd worked on that part. And then my endurance was pretty good. I was pretty fast, but I didn't have the size. Two bodies meet together, the lighter one's going down. It's just physics. And it is what it is. But I gutted it out and I didn't quit. And I learned some valuable life lessons from that. If you don't quit, and you just drive forward, even if you lose every fucking time, and you don't quit, sooner or later, you're going to fucking win. You get knocked down 7 times, stand up 8, you win. It's just that easy. And I've been thinking about this rite of passage thing, and here's my ideas on it. You need to pick something hard, something that's difficult for you, and fucking do it. And don't quit. For instance, live off the land for a week. Stay out there with just a backpack for a week or 2, and if you can hang, that's cool. I don't know, if you shoot a deer and clean it, that's pretty close to some good manly shit right there. But that might be too condensed. How about get a black belt? Start when you're like 15 and make a goal for yourself. You want to have a black belt by the time you finish high school. That's pretty fucking good right there. And don't go to one of those schools where you just buy your belts, because that's bullshit. I myself took martial arts. I never got my black belt. I didn't really get into the whole belt thing. I thought it was bullshit. All the belts I ever have, like the one that's on the wall behind me right up there, the FFK belt, I peeled it off a dude I knocked the fuck out. Fuck him. Here's another good one for you techno guys out there. Build a race car from scratch, and then take it out and race the motherfucker. There you go. You save up your money, you work on the car for a year and a half, figure out how shit works, have your buddies come over, working over some beers that you sneak, of course, and then take it down to the track, or, doing the half-mile or quarter-mile track, and, open it up and do your deal. There you go. Nobody gets killed, and it's relatively safe, barring, argument with physics or catching on fire if you fuck something up, but other than that, life isn't perfect. It is what it is. Here's another good one right here. Train as a boxer for 6-7 months, and then take an amateur bout. Step in the ring. You only got to do it once. Figure out if you can take a couple good shots and keep going. That's pretty good. Nobody really gets hurt that much in boxing, especially amateur boxing, because you have the headgear and the 16-ounce gloves and shit. But it is what it is. Or, you know, get your scuba certificate. Open water. Go scuba diving. That's a good goal. But basically, any rite of passage got to have one or two things in it. Conquering fear and enduring. You know, face the bully, do something that's impossible that people told you can never fucking do, and then just fucking do it. Who cares if you fucking fail? You know? Just do it. It's not that fucking hard. And don't let any woman tell you that you're a toxic man or whatever. Fuck that shit. How the fuck are we allowing women to tell men who the fuck a man is or not? What the fuck do they know? They don't know shit.
Of course!
Anyway, that's me getting spun up over this whole toxic masculinity thing. I told you this is going to be a long one, but knock this one out early. You guys have a good evening.